What's up and welcome to our podcast, Toast to Tea.
We're two friends that love the world of celebrity and pop culture and talking about it with you.
To join our world of celebrity, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our podcast. Now hit it.
It's about that time.
Wait, where's the Chris Cam?
To say cheers to our world of celebrity.
1000%.
They're back together, and it feels just right.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya.
Raise your glass.
I'm Maddison Hill.
And I'm Courtney Revolution.
Because it's our moment to
Toast to tea.
Yes, Courtney, hello. Another glorious week. And we have a new Taylor release, so it's a really glorious week.
Girl. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord. Honestly, I would hate to be any other artist right now, like Beyonce coming out, then Taylor. Everyone should just wait until summer at this point.
You don't want a new Meghan Trainor?
Don't release until July. You know, I feel like Meghan Trainor is very niche in the sense of, like, her fan... What's that mean? I did not mean that to be mean. Like, she's niche and, like, I feel like the Gen Zers, like, the TikTokers, like, her fans stand hard. It's just not, like, as big a... I was trying. That came off mean. But I meant it in a nice way.
First 3 minutes of the show, Meghan Trainor getting lashed. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's
I meant it nicely. Like, I feel like, you know, she has a niche.
She's not in your top 8.
No, she is not. But if she comes on, I'll give a little booty shake and like a...
You know, she gives a boom boom. She talks about her boom boom a lot.
Exactly.
You know?
It's like a little dose of positivity. I shake my tush. I have a little laugh. It's very camp.
She has a song with T-Pain?
Okay, well, I stan T-Pain, which, by the way, I saw he performed at the Celsius party at Coachella. I was like trying to remember.
Supposed to be there.
And you know what is irritating to me? All these people are like, oh my God, T-Pain's amazing. Like, why isn't T-Pain headlining? And I'm like, I have been saying this since I saw T-Pain with Lil Wayne. That man is a talent. He can play every instrument. He can sing. He can dance. And so I was annoyed with all of these, like, influencers who were out there just now realizing T-Pain's excellence. And I'm like, we've been knowing T-Pain's excellence for over a decade now at this point. Get with it. Get with it.
I was explaining to someone recently, Maddison, that was about 10 years younger than me. They had made a comment about, like, who cares about Nelly?
Oh.
I said, wait, what? I said, oh, no, hold on. I said, millennials love Nelly. I said, I'm about to go see Nelly in Alabama in just a few weeks.
Who?
And you know I'm going to be front row for Hot in Here.
Cares about Nelly? Were they trying to fight? Because that's what would have happened. Are you kidding me? Wow. Did you educate them?
I was shocked.
Did you educate them?
I did.
Thank God.
I literally did. I was like, no, you don't understand. Nelly was, like, very important to millennials. So, like, it doesn't matter how old Nelly gets. We are going to come out for him.
We will put a Band-Aid
and pay a good
on our
coin.
face, and we are going to the front row. No, Courtney, it's actually funny. We were at a wedding this past weekend. I was in Seattle, and they were playing. The DJ was okay. Okay, not necessarily like my genres, but you know, I dance at every wedding. It doesn't matter. I am on the floor. I do what I need to do. And they were playing like Mr. Brightside and like a lot of like the punk songs. And my Mama Hill is a Nelly stan. Everybody, just so you know, like Country Grammar was played on the way to school.
She was like, where the hits?
Mama Hill was like, where are the 2000s hip hop? Like, what are we doing here? And so we were joking. We're like, oh, Mom, like Mr. Brightside's like a lot of white people music. Like, you know, like that was like the jam. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what gets me out on the floor at the wedding.
Era, like, whatever. And she was like, I just feel like I didn't really expose you guys to that because we were listening to Country Grammar on the way to school. And I'm like, honestly, Mom, that is true. And now look at us. Like, thankfully, we learned and adapted so we could be part of the groups whenever they're singing these songs. But you're right. Now we're here at the weddings being like, where's Hot in Here? Where's Air Force Ones? Like, what are these songs?
I was just thinking about Air Force.
An absolute
Air
classic.
Force Ones. I was just thinking
Air
about that.
Force
So
Ones,
I could
big
get
boy,
the stomping in my
stomping
Air
in my
Force One.
Force Ones. Way up in Fort Lauderdale, looking like I need those. Honestly, an absolute classic. Wow, who is Nelly? That literally killed my soul hearing that. Like, that's super messed up.
It's really
and
this
fresh.
was just yesterday.
It's really fresh.
Like,
honestly, bring
mean?
Nelly to Coachella with T-Pain. And then maybe I would brave the crowds to go. You know what I
Madison,
mean?
honestly, I would consider it. Because there's a reason they would be performing.
I
know?
would too. Exactly. And like main stage, you know what I mean?
In the
Where
big
they should
font
be.
on the poster. Nelly.
In the big font. In the big font. T-Pain. Okay, Nelly Friday, T-Pain Saturday. We're not asking for much. Aside from, obviously, T-Pain killing the Celsius party, other big Coachella hits that you were excited to see, Justin Bieber guest performed with Thames. Were we happy about that?
I liked Tinashe.
Okay.
You know who
What'd
I
you-
liked? Also Chloe. Chloe performed her new song, Boy Bye. And I think that she's finally found her sound, girl. Chloe kind of puts out a song like every 3.5 weeks at this point. But I think that this is the one that might hold her in a lane for a little bit. So I did enjoy seeing her perform that. I don't know. It's the reason why I wasn't there. The lineup for this year's Coachella was good, but I felt almost kind of like indifferent about it, if it makes sense. So like I like Gwen Stefani, no doubt was great. Oh my God, Olivia Rodrigo, that's my girl. But I felt kind of tepid about it. I don't know, Madison.
I'll be honest, my favorite thing to watch was Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and the videos of them. I was like, this is better than any
Ice
of the
Spice
shows
smoking
I've
the blunt
seen on
right in her
social
face.
media.
Like
Courtney, I am embarrassed to admit how many videos and photos and how many times I've watched the video of Travis lifting Taylor up during the Don Tala set. Like, she's 5'11", and he picked her up like he was picking up a feather off the ground. God bless him. God bless him. That's all I got
he
to
be
say.
throwing over his back
You
like
know.
Tarzan and Jane,
I
girl.
mean, I know she's not going to be singing about him on this album, but she's gaining material for the next everybody. I know
Girl,
she
I'm gonna tell you
is.
right now. I didn't see these comments on the Twitter. Have you seen the comments on the Twitter
About the new album?
about the new album, girl?
We'll get to it. Because I
Okay.
actually, shockingly, the only reason I've been seeing the comments on Twitter, full disclosure, is because I'm in a Spicy Swifties chat. Like, my childhood friends, the Spicy Girls. All of us are Swifties except for one. So we have formed another chat called Spicy Swifties. And if it wasn't for them sending me the tweets, I might have missed them. Because, I'm not on Twitter like that. But I am seeing them. And the Charlie Puth thing, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Because I'm feeling some type of way, and I'm praying. I'll let you know right now, I'm praying it's a joke.
Oh, girl, it's not.
You don't think it
I'm
is?
gonna tell you it's not. It's not no joke.
You think it's real? It's not AI?
It's real. It's real. Madison Hill, it's real. I clicked a video on my timeline and I was like, what is, like, I didn't know what it was initially, and then I was like, oh.
That is real?
It's real.
Okay.
It's real.
That is...
I think this is going to be a very interesting album. I'm
now
waiting for tonight.
I don't know how to
Jennifer Lopez.
feel. Waiting for tonight. Sorry. That's when Jennifer Lopez
Madison,
was putting out hits.
She took our advice.
Jennifer Lopez?
Remember Jennifer Lopez canceled the tour dates, right?
Quietly.
Yes, and then I said, now, girl, if you went on tour with the greatest hits, girl, then we might show up for a couple cocktails. She literally done revamped the whole tour, and now it's just the Jennifer Lopez greatest
As
hits.
she should. As she should.
I know that's right, Jennifer.
Literally. If you're not playing Let's Get Loud, I'm not coming.
Not Let's Get
Oh,
Loud.
that was one of my first competition dances. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. I wore a white fringe two-piece. It was cute. Let me tell you. The Latin number. 7-year-old Maddison was shaking her little tush.
Madison.
You know I was. Killed. Shout out to
J-Lo.
Kristen Heavener. She was my duet partner for that. I don't know where she is now, but shout out to Kristen. Also,
Shout out to
Courtney.
you,
Like
Kristen.
show that I obviously have not watched, but I assume you have. Unlocked on Netflix. Do I need to watch it? I got like an
Madison.
ad for it, and I didn't know if I need
Madison.
to watch it.
Madison, you need to watch it immediately. You put it on while you make your lunch or while you do
Immediately?
Yeah, oh yeah, you put that on, girl. Girl, this is a show about, you know how people be locked up in the prisons? Like our good pal that we used to watch at Holly
Yes.
23 and 1.
Yes.
It finally makes sense. 23-1 is when your ass is locked up in the pod 23 hours of the day and they let you out for the one little hour to kiki and have your little lunch. So on this show, they're experimenting with the 23-1 pod and trying to decide whether they they decide to let the inmates sort of have free reign over the pod.
So they can be out all the time.
Mm-hmm. And they're kind of like put through different boundary tests to see like if this is the right decision.
Okay, Courtney, you're right. That actually 1,000,000% sounds like a show that I would love.
It's Maddison. It's good. It's real good. To me, it's the perfect balance between like gutter and then like great docuseries.
Okay, because I loved Locked Up or Lock Up. Remember where they would like go into the prisons, like lock up San Quentin?
Yes.
And like you would learn about how they made toilet line and like would communicate with each other through the pipes. I live for that.
Yes,
so, that's such a niche show. Niche is my buzzword of this episode, clearly. But it's not for everyone, I get it. But Unlocked, that sounds like something, you're right. I might put that on after this.
Maddison, it's a good one. Netflix, y'all have done it again. Also, before we get into it, shout out to season 6 of The Circle. The Circle is out. I'm not going to say anything crazy, but I am very confused, much like my other Circle peers, at the like lack of promotion. Like, you know how like when my season of The Circle, season 2, hi, girl, it was like, bam, cast announcement, bam, trailers 1 and 2, bam, y'all need to post these pictures, bam, it was like a full rollout, and like The Circle very quietly like came out yesterday, and there's only one trailer, and the social media account is not even following the new players. I don't know what's going on.
I'll be honest,
but it's out, y'all, so please watch it.
If I was not friends with Holly, who casts The Circle, I agree with you. Like, I only knew because you and her, because she was posting, shout out to Holly, she got 3 of her people
Holly.
made it on a season 6 because she's an icon.
Hey!
She is an absolute icon, an Emmy Award winner, actually. And so if it wasn't for y'all posting about it, you know me. I'm very specific about my reality. You know, like, I like Bravo, True Crime. This Unlocked sounds like it's going to be added to the list. And, like, The Trust was interesting to me. I do like The Circle if the cast is giving. So I'm a little more particular about it, but I always want to support. And, yeah, Courtney, if y'all hadn't posted about it, I would have been like, da-da-da-da-da.
There's a new season?
I have no idea.
I tweeted about it and everyone was like, there's a new season now? There's a new season now? I'm like, there's a new season now. Please go and support the new Circle players, because that's an experience that only, we're going to know about, meaning the players.
For sure.
So, just be nice.
Be nice. Please be nice. The other Netflix show I'm watching really quick, and then we'll get into the tea. Have you seen Baby Reindeer?
Mm-hmm. Maddison, what the hell is that?
I blame, Mason. Mason told me to watch it. Okay.
Yes.
And it is the weirdest, but like a show that now I can't stop watching. It's a scripted series, but it's based on a true story. The guy who is starring in it, this actually happened to him. And he's a comedian who had a stalker. A convicted stalker start stalking him. Her name's Martha. It is the weirdest, but also like kind of dark humor, but also like a train wreck you can't stop watching. And then last night I had a nightmare about someone stalking me. Like, it is interesting. So my true crime people, we got to watch Unlocked and get into Baby Deer, because crazy title and interesting.
Oh my God.
And
add that to my list.
You should add it. And the
like
episodes are short, like no longer than 40 minutes, which I live for sometimes. I like a little short moment. You know?
Yeah. Sometimes the 40-minute episodes be feeling like 2 hours.
Give it a try. It's interesting. And it's crazy because it's a true story. So get into it. We got a lot of Netflix. A lot of Netflix shows to watch.
Listen, they're trying to jump back into the game, and I'm here
with a
for
cannonball. Okay, Courtney, let's go ahead and cheers to the tea.
Cheers to the tea.
Which we kind of already briefly touched on Nelly being an icon, which, for those of you who don't know, this week also, Nelly not only is an icon to millennials and should be an icon to everyone, but he also is now a fiancé.
A fiancé?
Yes, him and Ashanti are engaged, you guys. Ashanti let it slip which I don't think she was trying to hide it, but she just like let it out so easily. During a new interview with Essence. During the interview, Ashanti was reflecting on becoming a mother for the first time because remember, her and Nelly announced they're expecting their first child together at the end of last year. And she said, quote, "This new year of life is such a blessing, full of love, hope, and anticipation. Motherhood is something that I've looked forward to, and sharing this with my family, fiance, and loyal fans who have been so supportive of my career is amazing." I love Nelly and Ashanti. I love that they're together.
Honestly.
I love that. For those of you who don't know, they dated on and off from 2003 to 2013 and then reconnected in 2023. Obviously, now they're having a baby. They're engaged. Like, the slow burn of it all, I love.
So, Maddison, in community, please answer in the comments if you're watching. Would you say that you are someone that would be open to someone, quote unquote, spinning the block on you, meaning you're with a person and for whatever reason you separate and then later down the line that person comes back for you? Are you open to that, or are you kind of like a you had me, you lost me, Joss Stone, slam the door?
I think it depends, obviously, like on the person and the situation, but I feel like I wouldn't be opposed. I mean, you never know. I also think too sometimes, like Nelly and Ashanti the first time around, it didn't work out because of circumstances of their current life. Now they're older, they're more mature, they've experienced more life. And I think whatever like trill might have kept you apart initially, if that is out of the picture and the love that you guys have for one another is still there and like at the root of it, at the foundation, y'all are solid, I say go for it. Like I wouldn't be necessarily opposed to that.
I think that is fair, and I agree. I think it depends on the person, it depends on the situation, because at the end of the day, if you're putting your ego and your pride aside, nothing will get in the way of the person that you love. You know, not time, space, distance, whatever. So yeah, I agree.
I also think too,
shout out to Ashanti and
like
Nelly.
when they were dating, like back in 2003, they were so young. You know what I mean? And when you're young, a lot of dumb stuff gets in the way. When you get older and you realize what life is really about and like what's important, what matters, I think it's easy to throw all of that to the wayside. And look, now it's like they're engaged, they're having a baby. I don't know. I love it. Also, I'm a hopeless romantic, so I'm like, oh my God. Like people say that they don't believe in soulmates, but I'm like, look at Nelly and Ashanti, okay?
I do.
I believe like
oh my God.
they might have needed to take that 10 year, which like for me, I'm like, oh my God, the thought of then reconnecting with someone after 10 years, which means my eggs are decaying. I'm concerned. Now that's 10 years we didn't have together. Like that would make me sad. But I'm a hopeless romantic, so the thought of them like still finding their way to one another after all this time, I'm like, tears. Are you kidding me?
Especially 10 years is a long time, Maddison.
A lot of life happens in 10 years. I'm just saying.
You really find out maybe what's real and what's not.
And now, like, literally, she's living her best life. Engaged, baby. Which also I think is a good reminder, too, for somebody who's always stressed about the future, which I'm trying to work on. As you guys know, I've put that in the teapot like 87 times. Really, timelines are so different for everybody. Like, timelines mean nothing.
Yes.
Like, look at Ashanti. She probably never thought in 2013 that 10 years later she would be engaged to Nelly and having his child. Like, I'm sure if you told 2013 Ashanti that, she'd be like, you're nuts. And, like, absolutely not. And look at them now. So I think that's another good reminder. Like, timelines really, we thought we had it figured out, but again, when you're trying to make plans, God's 10 steps ahead of you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. In a completely different way, it was like almost kind of like I kept feeling like there was a point in my life where I felt like there was like an age limit for like the reality TV thing. Like I thought that like by 23, I would have been on The Real World. I would have been on The Challenge. I would have been hanging out with Veronica and Tina and Coral, you know, the girlies. And the circle didn't come until I was like 28. Like, you know, if it's meant for you, it's going to be for you. Because your timeline is going to make sure of it.
Absolutely. I used to say that if I was not on E! News by 27, I was giving up and like going to do PR.
Oh my God.
And I was not going to pursue a career on camera anymore. I said if I was not on E! At 27, bye-bye. And then I turned 27 during the pandemic, which LOLs, no one was on anything. when I turned 27.
Girl.
And now it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, how sad, because we wouldn't be continuing this. I wouldn't have my YouTube channel. Like, I don't even know what I would be doing if I actually, I don't know. And now I'm like, I can't imagine not doing this. That would be weird. I feel like I have no other
Maddison,
skill
you
besides
better than
this.
E. Like, please. I'm glad you ain't quit.
Yeah,
I
I did.
Madison, you
When I
that
moved to
girl.
LA, I was like, if I'm not on E by 27 or close to getting on E, I'm giving up.
oh my
Isn't that
God,
crazy?
Nor babes.
Mm-hmm. So
The House of Hell, they hollering for you.
So the House of Hill wouldn't have existed. Wouldn't exist.
Oh,
But yeah, it's crazy to think about that now, actually. Wow.
sheesh.
Yeah. So see, everyone, take a lesson from Courtney, myself, and Ashanti. Timelines do not matter, okay? And yes, I'm throwing
Yeah.
Ashanti in there as well. Nelly has some babies, so he's fine. But Ashanti, I love. Like, this is her first bebe, engaged to her soulmate. Yes, I'm calling them soulmates, and I'm living for it.
She waited for the right person.
She did. Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. Worth the wait.
Mm.
Now, someone who, dare I say, did not wait for the right person.
Madison.
Okay, they're getting divorced. We're talking about Gypsy Rose and Ryan Anderson because this situation is
Update.
fascinating. It's fascinating. There's something new on TMZ about Gypsy Rose and Ryan Anderson every day. And, you know, this special education teacher, I just feel like could never have predicted that his life would be here. But this week, there was a report from TMZ giving us some insight into why Gypsy and Ryan Anderson ended up going their separate ways. And according to sources who are close to Gypsy, obviously, who spoke to TMZ, Gypsy was unaware of how much of a food hoarder Ryan was. He reportedly purchased items in bulk, and his fridge was really the main issue, like expired food in the fridge. These sources also said that, like, this tendency reminded Gypsy of her mom, which obviously gave her some PTSD situations. And I guess at one point, Gypsy did try to clean out the fridge, and Ryan came home and was upset. They got into a fight. It freaked her out that he got that mad over the fridge. And then the other issues aside from the food hoarding was his snoring. He apparently snored a lot. She did not know that, obviously, because they got married when she was in prison. And then he also ran warm at night. I believe the source's exact words were human furnace. And Gypsy prefers sleeping in a cold bed, which don't we all? I sleep on with the 69-degree thermostat, you know what I mean? All things that obviously could have been discovered if we did not get married in prison. And I mean that respectfully, with the utmost respect.
Madison, what was Gypsy and Ryan getting out of them being married while she was incarcerated?
Courtney, I do not know. That is what I just do not
Was
understand.
he paying her commissary? Like, what was the story?
I mean,
why did that? Why? What?
because she has a really good relationship with her dad and stepmom, obviously. So I feel like the commissary, like, I would hope that wouldn't be a reason that you would do that. Also, did you know when she filed reports this week as well, she's wanting him to pay her spousal support. She needs interim and she is filing for interim and long-term spousal support. But she said in that filing, she said, I don't want him to be able to ask me to pay him spousal support. Which again,
Because she about to run and get the bag.
right, but I also don't think it's necessarily fair that while you're waiting for that to come through, this man should pay you spousal support. It's not like he's a millionaire.
I was gonna say,
He's
does
a
he have some money?
teacher.
He's just a
No,
teacher, right?
he's a special education teacher. We don't pay our teachers enough in this
So
country, which is a
wait.
crime.
Hold on, Madison D. Hill. Gypsy Gyp, when she first got out of prison, she was like doing little things here and there, right? She ain't got no money.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, where is all of that? Which I know when she was in prison and she was doing interviews with Lifetime, her parents set up a trust for her, the dad and the stepmom, and the money was going into the trust. But I assume when she was out, she has access to the trust. It's giving mess. It's giving mess.
That's weird.
And he came out after this report about the food hoarding. Sources close to him came out and said he's blaming Ken Urker for the separation because Ken Urker reached out to the stepmom. after, Gypsy got out of prison and he said he wanted to talk to her and give her clarification of why he ended things. I'm starting to think Ken Urker is a little clout chaser. I think Ken Urker saw all the attention Ryan and Gypsy were getting, and he came out of the woodworks and said, you know what? And then Gypsy looked at Ken, and she looked at Ryan, and she said, this man hoards expired cheese, snores, and sweats. I'm going with Ken. That's genuinely how I see the situation going. And no shade to Gypsy.
And she got the matching tattoos with Ken Urker.
Got the matching tattoos. And I feel like this week people have been like, we have to remember she was abused growing up. Like I'm not trying to take away. She went through a lot. Her mom put her through a lot. It is a miracle she's alive. She paid her debt to society. She is out. Obviously, she's free to do whatever she wants to do. However, this is giving mess. And you can't deny it's giving mess.
Yeah, why Ken Urker can't pay her bills?
Because Ken Urker apparently doesn't have to work. He can go gallivant to New Orleans and hang out with her and help her during this
Like, what he do?
I have no idea.
What's his job?
But his mom...
Ken Urker, what you do?
His mom loves to talk to the press, though. His mom loves
That's
to
a
call
problem
TMZ.
for me. She's talking too damn much for me.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, not that I'm necessarily... I think Ryan and Gypsy were obviously... They're not soulmate status like Nelly and Ashanti, you know what I mean? It's definitely very clear. But I do feel a little bit that he's being dragged through the mud. I mean, she's being dragged too. They're both really like putting it all out there. And it's just like, it's insane. And you can't even write this. Like, you could not write that a report was put out talking about this man's food hoarding. Like, you cannot script this if you wanted to.
I'm just lost on like, you didn't know this man?
Well, this is why Mama Hill always says you need to live with the man before a ring is involved, before a marriage certificate is involved, because I would much rather you realize you can't do it living together before you get married.
Yeah.
Which was...
She said he snores and he too damn
hot.
You gotta go.
Which is like...
Marriage over. Marriage over.
Well, but again, this is what happens when you get married in prison.
Community is hoarding food, having a hot body.
That D
snoring
was
too loud.
literally fire, apparently.
Are these adequate reasons to leave your spouse? Please let us know.
Which, here's the thing. If you're not happy in a marriage, you should leave. It's just like, all of these things could have been discovered if we maybe just like waited and moved in together after our release. That's my thing.
The commissary had to be paid, Maddison.
I mean, we needed the honey buns.
She wanted them top. She needed the top ramen stat, chili lime shrimp. In fact,
and the honey buns. Remember, we watched our YouTuber.
Yes, the
you
honey
can
buns.
do a lot with a honey bun, you guys. You do not even know. A savory sweet Sammy. Heat it up, make a breakfast. It goes with the toilet wine.
My stomach hurts just hearing that.
I'm just saying, the hooch.
Not the hooch.
The hooch. You know.
Ugh.
Aren't you just like a little curious to try hooch?
I was until I watched Unlocked.
Oh, is it bad?
I just seeing them make it. I said,
It's fermented fruit, and like
bread crust.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough.
It's rough,
anyone
but it's
ever
prison.
knew how much we know about prison, which like
It's disgusting.
It's unreal.
You would have thought we've been there.
Thought we've been there. Honestly,
You would have thought we've been there.
Like Courtney and I, this really gives us some like
we could run a prison.
We could like warden and warden, literally co-wardens. Let us know if anyone needs 2 people to run a prison. We're available because we know what the inmates are doing on the inside. We've watched documentaries. They would not get away with making hooch in our prison. No. Absolutely not. Okay, moving on, Courtney. Let's talk about... I know, we need that for social because some people are going to be like, these people are crazy. But honestly, I vibe. Okay, Courtney, let's talk about a feud I did not see being reignited. Jojo Siwa and Lil Tay. They are going at it. They have beef.
The kids are fighting.
Lil Tay actually took to Twitter to address Jojo Siwa, who apparently liked and unliked a shady tweet that called Lil Tay a pathetic meme and stated that the two were not comparable. Lil Tay's tweet to Jojo said, at Jojo Siwa, which shout out to her for tagging her, you know. You're a scary ass bitch if you have something to say about me. Say it, and this time don't delete your comment or unlike shady tweets. Don't let those paid YouTube views and botted Spotify streams get to your Madonna from a Dollar Tree ass. Crazy. So we do need to say that Lil Tay did start this beef initially when she made comments on Twitter about how JoJo doesn't write her own music, and she does. Even though I've been seeing that JoJo's song Karma actually belonged to another artist before. Have you been seeing this on social media?
And girl, can I tell you, they found the lady, Brit.
Yeah, it's like
so-and-so.
Brit Smith. Okay, I think it's Brit Smith.
Brit Smith sang Karma initially, and the fans have made it so that her version of Karma charted higher than Jojo Siwa's version.
Well, honestly, no shade to JoJo, but when you're doing interviews with Billboard, which I love, the guy who she did that interview with, Tetris, I've met him, he's lovely. But the way he kept a straight face when she's sitting up there saying that she is doing things that no artist in her generation has ever done before was comical. Like, Miss Ma'am, you are not the first artist to go from Rainbows and Butterflies to a revenge, grunge, rebel phase. Like, hello. People have been doing this for decades. Since you were actually not even a thought.
I don't understand. Why is she trying so hard, Maddison?
Don't know. I saw her. She also did an interview on Call Her Daddy, and she's wearing a baseball cap with, like, fringe around. And I was just like, respectfully, I cannot.
Is she trying to find herself, and this is just like, she just happens to be doing it in front of this massive audience? Is that what we're seeing? You know how sometimes the young people, they go through sort of like this identity crisis where they're trying to figure out really who they are. Because, like, if we really think about it, she's been kind of like forced to be this kind of like brand entity at like a crucial point in your teenage years where you are figuring yourself out. While we were trying on clothes and figuring out our style and aesthetic, you know, wearing dumb shit all the time, she was forced into the balding ponytail,
right,
that you always said, bows and jean skirts until she's literally 19. So, I mean, it sucks that, like, maybe she's exploring different parts of herself, but it just happens to be in front of a massive audience, and she's making the decision to monetize it with music.
I think my issue with it is, even if she is trying to find herself and discover who she really is, then like, be a little more humble about it. It's the cockiness for me that is just really turning me off. And you know, I like don't really love people who are in your face like that. You know, I'm just not that. We've been in so many places and events and met people, and you know my face when people are trying to flex like that, and I just do not want anything to do with people like that. That's just not my personality. I let my work speak for itself. I'm not going to sit up there and showboat. You know what I mean? And every interview she does, I feel like she's like, yeah, but like, I'm Jojo Siwa, and like, everything I do is incredible, and like, no one's ever done this before. And it's like, okay, but you didn't even write the song. Like, someone else put out the song. And now you're out here acting like you are God's gift to earth. Like, that's where I'm just struggling a little bit. Which is, honestly, like, Lil Tay came a little hard, but like, the Madonna from a Dollar Tree line did make me giggle. And I would be lying if I said it didn't. That is funny.
Lil Tay fake her kidnapping?
Okay, that was crazy. She, like, apparently, I think it was like her dad or her manager faked her death for a second. But then she popped up and was like, I'm alive. Yeah. They're lying. Weird. They're trying to take my money. It was weird. I'm not saying Lil Tay's no one that we should be using as an example for anything. But her calling Jojo Siwa Madonna from the Dollar Tree did make me laugh. And it
tickled you.
I would be fake if I said it didn't. You know what I mean? And I am many things, but fake is not one.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No ham. So, yeah, do you think JoJo is going to respond? Do you think she needs to put out her version of Bigfoot, or what do you think?
Not JoJo Siwa putting out her version of Bigfoot. Maddison, please. Could you even imagine what that would sound like? Big Bo. No, I think Jojo Siwa will not respond, and I hope that she doesn't, because I don't think that Jojo Siwa is built for that kind of pressure from Lil Niece. Lil Tay over there. So, girl, go on ahead and You know, put your little black leather back on, head back on down to Rocco's, girl, and perform your little music and keep it
Not
pushing.
Rocco's.
Just give Beyonce. Maddison, let me tell y'all something. Hi, community.
Are you going to tell them about Rocco's?
Never.
Okay.
I have to. I never get FOMO about anything. I really could care less. I love being in the house and being by myself. When I tell you how pissed I was when I woke up and went on Instagram and every single gay in Los Angeles was at the Rocco's to see Jojo Siwa perform Karma, and I had not an inkling of a whisper of a clue that this was happening. I was shaken to my core. I missed the iconic Maddison. I would have had 4 good cocktails and been going completely. It felt like the entire
And
gay city
Rocco's,
was there, and I didn't even know it was a thing.
Glug, 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 glug. You would have been shaking your tush to some Karma.
I would. Karma's a bitch. I should have known better.
That is, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry you missed that.
Jojo, come back and come to Heart this next time.
I love Heart.
And I'll be
Heart
there.
is fun because I like dancing on the top.
Heart is fun.
And looking down. You know.
Yeah, that way you don't have to be down.
It's a lot down there.
That's a
we
lot
did dance with
there.
Chriselle down there though. That was fun. Shout out to Chriselle.
Shout out to Chriselle.
We've been spending too much time together, guys. We're starting to say the same things. Okay, moving on to Kanye. Courtney, he might be in a little trouble, which I know sounds like nothing new, but this is like
Shocker.
criminal trouble. He is a suspect in a battery case. So this is a new report from TMZ. Law enforcement sources shared with TMZ that they are investigating Kanye after he was accused of punching a man in the face on Tuesday night. He allegedly hit the man after this guy touched Kanye's wife, Bianca Sensory. These sources said that Kanye and Bianca took off after the alleged altercation, and the alleged victim did not require medical treatment after whatever happened. Now, since this initial report, a rep for Kanye did speak out on his behalf to TMZ, saying that Bianca wasn't groped or grabbed, as the initial report states. She was, quote, physically assaulted. Kanye's rep says that this man put his hands under Bianca's dress, directly touched her body, grabbed her waist, spun her around, and blew her kisses. Kanye's rep is saying Bianca was, quote, battered and sexually assaulted. And as of right now, police are investigating, and they plan on speaking to Kanye and any eyewitnesses. What do we think?
Don't touch women, period. If you touch that lady,
that's how I feel
period.
too. I know. I mean, Kanye is Kanye, and it sounds like Kanye is Kanyeing here. However, if that man really did like touch Bianca's skin and go up under her dress, if my man didn't punch somebody in the face who did that to me, I would be upset. Like, yeah, absolutely. So I kind of feel
this
like
is not the baby like just leaving the stage and punching a woman in the face. Like, you know.
No, I feel like, honestly, if a man is invading your wife's personal space like that, again, not that I ever condone violence, but you stepping in as the husband, like I think that's warranted. Obviously, there's two sides to the story, but I just feel like because, and again, our criticisms of Kanye are often so valid, so warranted, obviously. Hello. But in this instance, this one-off, if he was really protecting his wife, I can't fault him for protecting his wife.
Yeah, that's his wife.
You know?
You put your hands on his wife, he gonna put his hands on you.
And also, just like any man thinking that he can walk up to a woman and put his hands up her dress and spin her around and blow. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm not about it. I'm not here for you doing that. I don't support that. I don't like that. I don't know.
I don't want Kanye to get charged, but if that did happen to Bianca, I hope that Kanye put the paws on him.
Yeah, just because that's unacceptable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
I don't
just
want that.
Especially,
keep your hands to yourself.
Especially if it was like, I mean, we don't know who it was, but if it was a paparazzi or something like that. And you know what? I feel like paparazzi have been getting real. I know they've been bold for years, but something as of late, it's like really getting up in there. It's giving early 2000s.
They popping back out again?
Yeah, remember even in Australia, Taylor Swift's dad, one member of the paparazzi was trying to be like, Taylor Swift's dad punched me in the face. And he's like, I have it on video. And the video did not show anything. The video showed her security being like, please take a step back. You're too close to the car. She needs to get into the car. And this man was not stepping back. And so security just like had the umbrella and was like, get back. And he then fell to the ground and was like, oh my God, da, da, da. And so I think it's maybe more so not them like coming at the celebrity, but then like doing a stunt and then trying to blame the celebrity for them doing that. Yeah. It's like the pictures aren't paying the bills, so I'm going to do a stunt to then try to get the celebrity in trouble and pay my bills that way. That's like kind of the energy I feel like I've been getting lately from the paparazzi.
Get a job, get a TikTok, and leave celebrities alone.
In that instance, like, don't be putting your hands on people that you shouldn't be putting your hands on. It's 2024.
Absolutely.
We know better than that, you know? We learned.
And if you do that, just expect an ass whooping. That's all.
Exactly. You know, I'm in my rewatching of Atlanta right now, and Portia, she does not back down. She's not back down.
Which Portia? Is this Portia on the boat kicking Cynthia, or Cynthia kicking Portia, or Portia dragging Kenya Portia?
So I already watched Portia dragging Kenya, which she did have the wand in her face. Not condoning, but that would have also irritated me.
Your official stance.
My official
you said
stance.
I am Team Portia.
I mean, Nene said it best. You know what I mean? She provoked her, and she did provoke her, and I agree with Nene in that instance. Then I did see the boat, Cynthia kicking.
That season is a very underrated
season.
It's
so underrated. Are you kidding me?
It's really good. The fans hate it because they don't like Kim Fields.
Well, she's a little boring. God bless her. She's an icon.
We need like a.
But she was giving mom. She was giving auntie energy, and I lived for it. Okay. And then the unseen footage of her dragging some woman named Lena down the alleyway. You know what I'm talking about?
Because she's disrespectful as
fuck. Yes. It's like, conveniently that wasn't caught on camera, but now everyone's like mad because now she's in anger management because everyone's scared of her because she's had 3 instances of violence.
And was Portia really in anger management?
No, she's literally in like...
They're like, tell us about it. And she's like
in therapy. And the therapist is like, I mean, she did get up in your face. I'm like, what anger management therapist is this? He's like, I mean, you did what you had to do. It's like, we should fire this man. He is not helping the situation. I was like, well, interesting take on anger management. Literally, he's like, make sure you bring backup to this group trip. I'm like, sir, I thought we were supposed to be talking her off the ledge, not getting her
Maddison,
closer.
Now that you're on your Real Housewives journey, now you're able to watch the full thing now. So you got to make sure you hop off at your certain points and watch Candy's ski trip. And you got to watch Portia's Family Matters.
Oh, God.
Especially Portia's Family Matters. That's like near the end of the Real Housewives of Atlanta journey.
Well, it's crazy because I stopped watching live at like season 6. I feel like that's when I kind of stopped.
Damn. So you ain't seen none of this?
I hadn't really seen, I had caught it on and off. Because I would always tap in like whenever I saw people talking about things.
Like a big moment or something.
Because in college I kind of fell off Housewives. I was like, I'm at Mizzou. I don't know what's going on. Blah, blah, blah. And so I kind of fell off for a little bit. And now I'm like, oh my God, such good. So I would like see the big moments. But like the fights, like I remember her fighting Cynthia on the boat. Obviously, because Cynthia Bailey getting in a physical altercation. But I think also watching something through adult eyes versus when you watched it when you were younger is just like so much better too. Because I mean, I can really respect Phaedra's shade a little bit more. You know, she goes for I aspire to be her level of shady because she reads you, shades you. And you don't even know it. Like, these girls literally are sitting there like, oh my God, I love Phaedra. And I'm like, oh my God, she is so mean to you.
She literally called you an idiot.
And they're like, have no idea. So I aspire to be her level of shade. It's iconic.
Phaedra is a great reality TV personality. I'm glad that she's gone through like this sort of like reality renaissance because she's brought it.
Exactly. I live for it. And now I think she's on Married to Maddison. Now? Okay, that's what I thought, because I saw clips of her and Apollo, and I was like, are her and Apollo back together? But no, they're just co-parenting. But I thought for a second, I was like, no way. That's crazy.
To be honest, I hope they put her on Atlanta.
I think so too. I think they need
when it comes back.
It needs it.
It wasn't a fit for Married to Medicine.
So far, I've seen only Kenya and I think Portia are confirmed.
It's just Kenya and Portia
Miss
right
Twirl.
now. But I hope that they at least let her be a friend and then maybe a housewife the next season because Married to Medicine is like one of my favorite shows on Bravo. But I can be honest and say that I know what they were trying to do by having Phaedra on.
It just fell flat.
But it just didn't quite work. She's not showing her life. And Married to Medicine is like all about, like, they put their shit out.
I remember watching the first seasons of Married to Medicine because they didn't have kids, but the woman who's married to a psychiatrist, I don't know if they're still on, but I remember in Atlanta, they had this like huge house, like all these cars, and my dad's a psychiatrist. And I was like, Dad, oh my God, like they are so, like, oh my God, like he has like 5 Bentleys, like whatever. And I was like, that's crazy because you're a psychiatrist and we don't have a Bentley. He goes, yeah, because they don't have kids. I have 2 daughters. All my 5 Bentleys are Maddison and Keely Shay. So that's where my money for the 5, not that we could have 5 Bentleys, but
y'all are
it was somebody I was like,
priceless.
oh my God, this psychiatrist is like rolling. And he's like, yeah, because they don't have kids. Kids cost a lot of money. And I was like, fair.
They do.
Well, the more you know.
They do.
Now that I'm old, I'm like, yeah, kids are really expensive. Hence why it seems scary to have one.
I'm like,
I'm very expensive.
So
Courtney, I always, my friends who have kids, I'm like, I cannot even afford myself. How do you afford yourself and smaller humans? I literally,
I
do too.
I pray for them.
My own budget is ridiculous. This costs a lot to upkeep. You know what I mean? Speaking of upkeep, getting excited, Courtney, really quick before we wrap up, we got to talk about Taylor. By the time you guys are listening to this episode, the Tortured Poets Department is going to be out. And the alleged leak that we were talking about at the beginning of this episode, Courtney, that this album is going to be a lot of Maddie Healy influence, allegedly. I guess we'll find out. But one of the lyrics that has leaked, that is Maddie Healy coded, has everyone upset. And that lyric is, you smoked, then ate 7 chocolate bars. We declared Charlie Puth should. I scratch your head. You fall asleep like a tattooed golden retriever. I did not want that to be real. And you say it is real. And the girls are going to be upset. The girls are going to be upset because Charlie Puth and Selena have a bad history. And Taylor is Selena's bestie. They are going to be mad.
I didn't even think about that.
That's the first thing I thought about. I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Charlie Puth has been like clout chasing off Selena for decades.
Yikes.
And now Taylor Swift is out here allegedly saying she thinks he should be a bigger artist.
Girl, I need to sit down with this album and hear what this lady is talking about because I've just seen too much on the timeline and I'm like, I need to be able to like form my own opinion.
I agree. I'm seeing too much. Like sonically, it's gonna be like da 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 da. Like remember we had talked about last week? Was it like Red?
Reputation in Red.
Reputation in Red. Mm-hmm. I saw a TikTok today that was like Midnight's Evermore Folklore, Vault Tracks of 1989, and so I'm like, it's
a lot of different sounds.
It's too many spoil it. Like I think people are trying to spoil it too much. I'm like, can we just wait and listen and then form our own thoughts? Like, why are we trying to ruin it before we hear it?
Yeah, like when it comes out, I'm gonna listen to it by myself and then I'm gonna open Twitter.
That's how I feel too.
I can't like sit and refresh the hashtag song by song, like you know how they do like the big listening parties and Taylor Nation. Everyone press play. Like I can't do that.
No.
I need to have my own tortured poet moment.
Yes, I have to like listen in silence so I can hear the words and then form my thoughts, which is hard. I know.
Exactly.
That's how I usually like to listen to an album. I have a poll right now on my YouTube channel because people want to do a live listening party, and I'm trying to see, do they want Thursday or Friday? We'll see. But I'm like, low-key, I kind of think Friday so I can have a moment to, like, digest. I need to process sometimes, you know?
I think Friday, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm someone who I like to listen, then I like to look at the lyrics, and then I like to be like, what do we think? Hey, did I like the song? What is the meaning of this? Did this make me cry? Did this make me angry? Like, it's a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm ready for it to be out already. I have questions. The Matty Healy stuff, I didn't even realize he was that significant to have music written about him. So, like, I'm very, like...
I'm skeptical of that. I'm like, they barely dated. It was a blip in time. I like to forget that the Matty Healy era was even a thing. I wouldn't even call it an era. It was a couple months. It was a rebound that none of us want to remember as Swifties. And I just am...
And then it's like, so you wrote about him and then you ran and did a song with Ice Spice? Like, it just, like...
That's I just
it don't make sense.
That's how I feel. I'm like, there might be like maybe one or two Matty Healy coded songs, but I really am struggling to believe that 80% of the album is Matty Healy. I am struggling.
Yeah, I want to see Joe Alwyn get whacked.
That's how I feel too. You know, it's funny. Someone earlier this week was like, Maddison, you need to give Joe more grace. And I was like, respectfully, I 100% hear you. But I would be lying if I said I'm going to give this man grace because I'm a Swiftie. So like, I'm going to hear her obliterate this man and I'm going to be like, girl, get him. And then if Joe wants to come out and like tell his side, I will respectfully listen. But I can't lie. Like I said, we're Tauruses, we're loyal, we've been Swifties for years. If she's gonna get up here and say this man treated her poorly, I'm gonna be like, Joe? You
treated our sister poorly, and we're glad you got dragged.
And you're on the drunk punch in public list now, and there's nothing I can do about it. You know? I'm just being realistic. I gotta go for her. I got to. Just like how now Jake Gyllenhaal movies banned in this house. We do not watch Jake Gyllenhaal movies in this house.
Y'all don't watch Jakey?
Oh, no.
Maddison, when the last time Jake Gyllenhaal been in a movie?
I think he literally... Oh, no, he's in one right now, isn't he? He's in that remake. Ooh. I think he's in a... where he's like redoing Patrick Swayze's character. I cannot think of the movie title. Because I'll be honest with you, I saw the billboard and I said, we will not be participating. No.
You said absolutely
no.
not.
My mom's even worse. Mama Hill is like, when she heard All Too Well 10-minute version, she was like, if I see Jake Gyllenhaal in the streets, game on.
Ooh.
Literally. She cannot. Ever since hearing All Too Well 10-minute version, no.
She said an act of violence will be committed on behalf of Taylor Swift.
She hates, and she's not even like a Swiftie like that, but as a mom, she's like, oh, the fact that man did that to her, like that, and I'm like, yeah.
Because imagine if someone did that to y'all.
Right? Ruined my 21st birthday? Are you kidding me? No. Days are numbered for Jake Gyllenhaal. So we'll see. We'll see how we feel about Joe. We'll know by the time you guys are listening. Scary.
Tell us in the comments what you think about the Tortured Poets department and what your favorite songs are. Give us like a top 5 if you're listening.
I was gonna say top 5 because top 3 is too hard normally. So we'll see. I'm praying this Charlie Puth thing though, Courtney, is just like a blip because I'm getting nervous now that you.
Maddison,
I'm nervous.
We're about to get a whole new album. That one little lyric.
I know.
Gonna get lost.
Okay, you're right. It's not gonna matter.
But wow, what an introduction!
It's not the introduction I was hoping for. I'll be honest.
Lordy.
Okay, Courtney, let's go ahead and get into our last segment and
put it in the teapot. Alrighty, for this week's Put It in the Teapot, I would like to put not taking a break in the teapot. I think it's very important for us to sort of take our moments where we have a pause, whether that be, for me, I'll speak about myself, whether it be from like social media. I just took sort of like a mini break from like posting on my Instagram and TikTok and stuff, whether that be from the gym. You know, you can only work out but so many days. You have to give your body time to rest. Also from people. You can love someone and know that, you know, they also drain you with their BS. So you take a little mini break and call them back a little bit later. I think it's important that we don't forget about us. Because it's important to love our people, to communicate with our people, to check in on our people and love on our people. But it's also important for us to return all of those actions to ourselves. So make sure that you go out to the movies, you buy yourself a book, you check your tweets on your own time, and you continue to do things that fill and feed you. So take your pause.
Yes, I love that. I feel like I need to remember
Maddison, take your damn pause.
Well, I can pause from some things, but the gym is one thing I cannot pause from currently because I gotta get it going.
You were silly.
Okay, the thing that I'm putting in the teapot is people hating on Taylor Swift for singing about her ex-boyfriends. There is no criticism of her that frustrates me more than when people are like, oh my God, she's singing about an ex. This is so annoying. Get new material. Why do you always have to do this? Because she's an artist. And artists process things through their art. Just like painters paint from inspiration of their life, Taylor Swift writes music about her life and sings about her life. I do not understand why every artist does this. Every artist sings about their previous relationships in every single genre: pop, country, rock and roll, EDM, alternative. It literally doesn't matter. Everyone talks about their exes, but for some reason, Taylor Swift is the one who always gets dragged and absolutely, excuse my French, shit on for doing it. And I don't understand it. It is completely okay. She was with Joe Alwyn for 6 years. She has a lot to say about it. Even if she has a song about Maddie Healy and I'm not here for it, I will listen. But can we please stop criticizing this girl for doing what everyone else does, just on a bigger scale?
Yeah, that was great, and I agree, Maddison. Why does Taylor Swift get dragged for singing about her exes? Like, it's weird that like someone could send a hate tweet like Swifties are dumb because Taylor doesn't do anything but write about her exes, and then go and sing like a rock song about someone crying about their ex, or a country song about some guy.
It's all
like,
the same.
It's all the same. It's a universal thing, like relationships, love, breakups, makeups, etc. So why does she get judged? It's because she's popular.
Yes, and because we know who the ex is. Like sometimes like we don't know what the rock and roll song, like who necessarily they're talking about. The country song, we don't know who necessarily they're referring to. Taylor, because everyone watches her like a hawk, we know the specifics of who she's referring to. But I'm like, so what? That's not her fault.
Yeah, no.
She can't help that. Like,
She's a celebrity.
Literally. So I get so irritated with that criticism. I'm like, please come up with a new drag because that one's tired.
I agree.
Snooze fest.
That was a good one, Maddison.
Fest. Also, you guys, if you want to put in your own submission to put in the teapot, please remember to email us at toasttoteapot@gmail.com. You can also DM us on Instagram or comment below if you're watching on YouTube. And on that note, you guys, that is the end of this episode because I know y'all have music to be streaming and listening to and decoding. So you guys, please make sure you're following us at Toast to Tea Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're sharing this video as well. Also that you're subscribing on Spotify and wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at I am Maddison Hill and Snapchat at Maddison Hill 93. And Courtney?
You can follow me at Courtney Revolution on Instagram and Court Revolution on TikTok, Twitter, and Snapchat as well. I'm back on the Snapchat.
Yes. You guys have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Happy Tortured Poets Department. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.